Dear students, welcome back. I am here with third podcast of chapter 2 from hunting gathering to growing food. In this podcast, we will learn about our next topic, finding out about the first farmers and herders. Archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. These are found all over the subcontinent. Some of the most important ones are in the northwest, in present day Kashmir, and in East and South India. To find out whether these sites were settlements of farmers and herders, scientists study evidence of plants and animal bones. One of the most exciting finds includes remains of burnt grain. Scientists can identify these grains, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different parts of the subcontinent. They can also identify the bones of different animals. Dear students, the next subtopic is towards a settled life. Archaeologists have found traces of huts or houses at some sites. For example, in Burzahom, in present day Kashmir, people built pit houses which were dug into the ground with steps leading into them. These may have provided shelter in cold weather. Archaeologists have also found cooking hearths both inside and outside the huts, which suggests that depending on the weather, people could cook food either indoors or outdoors. Stone tools have been found from many sites as well. Many of these were different from the earlier Paleolithic tools, and that is why they are called Neolithic. These include tools that were polished to give a fine cutting edge, and mortars and pestles used for grinding grain and other plant produce. Mortars and pestles are used for grinding grain even today, several thousand years later. At the same time, tools of the Paleolithic types continued to be made and used, and remember, some tools were also made of bones. Many kinds of earthen pots have also been used. These were sometimes decorated and were used for storing things. People began using pots for cooking food, especially grains like rice, wheat, and lentils, that now became an important part of the diet. Besides, they began weaving cloth using different kinds of material. For example, cotton that could now be grown. The next topic is a closer look, living and dying in Mehergarh. Mehergarh is located in a fertile plain near the Bolan Pass, which is one of the most important routes into Iran. Mehergarh was probably one of the places where people learned to grow barley and wheat and rear sheep and goats for the first time in this area. It is one of the earliest villages. At this site, many animal bones were found. Bones of wild animals such as the deer and pig, and also bones of sheep and goat were found. Other finds at Mehergarh include remains of square or rectangular houses. Each house had four or more compartments, some of which may have been used for storage. When people die, their relatives and friends generally pay respect to them. People look after them, perhaps in the belief that there is some form of life after death. Burial is one such arrangement. Several burial sites have been found at Mehergarh. In one instance, the dead person was buried with goats, which were probably meant to serve as food in the next world.